Shmuel Alef, chapter 14. One day Yehonatan, the son of Sha'ul, said to the young man carrying his armor, "Come, let's go across to the garrison of the Pelishtim on the other side." But he didn't tell his father. Sha'ul was waiting at the far edge of Giv'ah, under the pomegranate tree in Migron. The force with him numbered about 600 men. Achiah, the son of Achituv, Ichabod's brother, the son of Pinchas, the son of Eli, the Kohen of Adonai in Shiloh, was carrying a ritual vest. No one knew what Yehonatan had gone. No one knew that Yehonatan had gone. Between the passes by which Yehonatan was trying to cross to the garrison of the Pelishtim, there was a rocky spur on one side and another rocky spur on the other side. The name of the one was Botzetz, and the other Senna. The one spur rose up on the north in front of Michmas, and the other on the south in front of Giva. Yehonatan said to his armor-bearer, "Come on, let's go across to the garrison of these uncircumcised people. Maybe Adonai will do something for us, since Adonai can rescue with a few people as easily as with many." His armor-bearer replied, "Do everything you think you should. I'm with you, whatever you decide." Yehonatan said, "Here, we'll cross over to those men and let them know we're there. If they say, 'Wait till we come to you,' we'll stand still where we are and not go up to them. But if they say, 'Come up to us,' we'll go on up, and that will be the sign that Adonai has given us victory over them." So both of them let their presence be known to the garrison of the Pelishtim, and the Pelishtim said, "Look, some Hebrews coming out of the holes they've been hiding in." Then the men of the garrison said to Yehonatan and his armor-bearer, "Come up to us, we want to show you something." Yehonatan told his armor-bearer, "Come on up after me, for Adonai has handed them over to Isra'el." Yehonatan climbed up, using his hands as well as his feet, with his armor-bearer behind him. The Pelishtim fell before Yehonatan, and his armor-bearer, following him, finished them off. That first slaughter of about 20 men was accomplished by Yehonatan and his armor-bearer in a space only half as long as one side of the area a pair of oxen could plow in a day, about 200 yards. There was panic in the field camp among all the Pelishtim. Likewise, the garrison and the raiding party panicked. Besides all this, there was an earthquake. Thus it grew into panic caused by God. Sha'ul's men on watch in Givat Binyamin could see the enemy camps scattering and running in all directions. Sha'ul ordered the forces with him to call the roll and see who was missing. So they called the roll and found Yehonatan and his armor-bearer not present. Sha'ul told Achiah, "Bring the ark of God here." For at that time the ark of God was with the people of Israel. But while Sha'ul was talking to the Kohen, the uproar in the camp of the Pelishtim continued and kept getting louder. Sha'ul said to the Kohen, "Put your hand down." Sha'ul and the entire force with him assembled and went to battle. But they found the Pelishtim all fighting each other in utter confusion. The Hebrews from the surrounding countryside, who had previously been with the Pelishtim and had gone up with them into the camp, deserted and went over to Israel with Sha'ul and Yehonatan. Likewise, on hearing that the Pelishtim were fleeing, all the men of Israel who had hidden themselves in the hills of Ephraim pursued them in battle. So Adonai saved Israel that day, and the battle spread as far as Bet-Aven. Israel's soldiers had been driven to exhaustion that day, but Sha'ul issued this warning to the people: "A curse on any man who eats any food until evening, when I will have finished taking vengeance on my enemies." So none of the people even tasted food. Now the people came to a forest where there was a honeycomb on the ground. When the people had entered the forest, they saw there was a honeycomb with honey dripping out. But no one put his hand to his mouth, because the people feared the oath. But Yehonatan hadn't heard his father charging the people with the oath. So he put out the end of the staff in his hand, dipped it in the honeycomb, and raised it to his mouth, whereupon his eyes lit up. But one of the people said in response, "Your father strictly charged the people with an oath, a curse on any man who eats any food today, even though the people are fainting with hunger." Yehonatan answered, "My father has brought trouble to the land. Just look how my eyes have lit up because I tasted a little of this honey. How much greater would the slaughter of the Pelishtim have been today, then, if the people had eaten freely of the spoil they found with their enemies." That day they had attacked the Pelishtim from Michmas to Aijalon, but the people were very exhausted. So the people rushed at the spoil, seizing sheep, cows, and calves, slaughtering them on the ground, and eating the flesh with the blood. Sha'ul was told, "Look how the people are sinning against Adonai, eating with the blood." He said, "You have not kept faith. Roll a big stone to me immediately." "Now," Sha'ul said, "go around among the people and tell them, each of you is to bring his cow and his sheep and slaughter them here. Then eat. Don't sin against Adonai by eating with the blood." So each person brought his animal with him that evening and killed it there. Sha'ul erected an altar to Adonai. It was the first altar that he erected to Adonai. Sha'ul said, "Let's go after the Pelishtim by night. We'll plunder them until dawn. We won't leave one of them alive." They answered, "Do whatever seems good to you." But the Kohen said, "Let's approach God here." Sha'ul consulted God. "Should I go down in pursuit of the Pelishtim? Will you hand them over to Isra'el?" But he didn't answer him that day. Sha'ul said, "Come here, all you heads of the people. Think carefully. Who has committed this sin today? For as Adonai, Israel's deliverer, lives, even if it proves to be Yehonatan my son, he must be put to death." But no one among all the people answered him. Then he said to all Israel, "You be on one side, and I and Yehonatan my son will be on the other side." The people replied to Sha'ul, "Do what seems good to you." Sha'ul said to Adonai, the God of Israel, "Who is right?" Yehonatan and Sha'ul were chosen by lot, and the people went 3. Sha'ul said, "Cast lots between me and Yehonatan my son." Yehonatan was chosen. Then Sha'ul said to Yehonatan, "Tell me what you did." Yehonatan told him, "Yes, I tasted a little honey by the end of the staff in my hand. Here I am. I'm ready to die." Sha'ul said, "May God do the same to me and more also if you are not put to death, Yehonatan." But the people said to Sha'ul, "Must Yehonatan die, who has accomplished this great deliverance in Israel? Heaven forbid. As Adonai lives, not one hair of his head will fall to the ground, because he worked with God today." In this way the people rescued Yehonatan, so that he didn't die. Then Sha'ul stopped pursuing the Pelishtim, and the Pelishtim returned to their own territory. So Sha'ul took over the rulership of Israel. He fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, the people of Ammon, Edom, the kings of Zovah, and the Pelishtim. No matter which way he turned, he defeated them. He demonstrated his strength by attacking Amalek, and he saved Israel from the power of those who were plundering them. The sons of Sha'ul were Yehonatan, Yishvi, and Malchishua, while the names of his 2 daughters were these: the name of the older, Merav, and of the younger, Michal. Sha'ul's wife was named Achinoam, the daughter of Achimaatz. The commander of his army was named Avner, the son of Ner, Sha'ul's uncle. Kish was the father of Sha'ul, and Ner, the father of Avner, was the son of Aviel. As long as Sha'ul lived, there was bitter war against the Pelishtim. Whenever Sha'ul saw any strong or courageous man, he recruited him into his service.